in 2011.
It took a while for us to start Battlefield 3 because we knew that we were going to have to do something special with it, and we sat down and said, okay, there are 5 to 6 pillars that we need to really do well in order for it to feel right. So we looked at rendering technologies, we looked at audio, we looked at destruction, we looked at animation, and we just said, okay, in order for us to achieve what we want to achieve, I think that we probably need a new engine. So it started with the new technology based on what our needs were, and then the fifth element that we were looking at was how can we get better production pipelines and tools so that people can have faster iteration times and do more work so that we get more efficient and get better software.
I need you to find our Marines and bring them back safe ASAP before the PLR find them.
We haven't unveiled the single-player story yet, and I'm gonna keep that to myself. But if you look at the multiplayer that we're showing here on the show floor, that's obviously some aspects very similar to what Battlefield has been in the past, but on many aspects new and different. So what's new about it is obviously things that we can do with the new tech. So like all many of the levels are quite large, but they're staggered. Like this particular one that we're showing here starts out in a park, and then you progress into the subway, and you get a completely different type of gameplay experience, and then you end the level at the streets of Paris, outside again. And what that gives the player is a very different experience from during the three different areas. A good example is when you get into the subway, there's a pretty deep element of gameplay as it relates to light and how we play with light. So all the lights is dynamic, so you can shoot them out. So one of the tactics that you may want to deploy is, okay, go in, shoot the lights in the ceiling, equip yourself with flashlights on your weapons, and then you take cover, and then when the enemy comes, you turn the flashlights on, they get blinded and you shoot them. That type of gameplay we haven't seen before. And that's what's making me excited about Battlefield 3. Destruction is something that we've done for a while. We started with Bad Company 1, obviously excelled in Bad Company 2. Here I think we're doing both more on the bigger type destruction. So you in the last area here in Paris, you can actually take down the whole facades of buildings, which is kind of cool. You can still blow holes in walls and stuff. But I think that what really makes the biggest difference is the level of micro-destruction, as we call it. So in the subway, as an example, you can shoot at the walls and you'll see, things falling down. You can shoot down signs, you can blow up windows, you can basically destroy everything that's in your way. So it feels very real, and it just feels right when you're shooting in that environment. And it calls for very cool gunfights too. We showed the tank level at the press conference. That was obviously a part of the single-player campaign, and that a lot of the things that you saw in there will translate to multiplayer, but some won't. So like the artillery piece, there will be artillery vehicles in multiplayer for sure, but you may not have the time to do exactly what we did in the single-player campaign, because then someone may blow up your tank. So it's all gameplay related, and what works on the gameplay side and doesn't work, but you can expect a lot of things from single-player to transform into multiplayer. I think accessibility is a big part of what we're trying to do. Everything from the menus to how you spawn to how easy it is for you to be revived. So like an accessibility thing is, the revival thing was great in Bad Company 2, but I don't know if you got that, but I often got the feeling of I didn't want to get revived at that point because someone just killed me again. So now we put in things like you decide whether you want to be revived or not. So we try to make the game a lot more accessible and available to a larger audience than we have maybe, and we're trying to maybe not go as nerdy in some things in order for it to be a little bit more accessible. But it's hard. It's hard because we still want to stay true to the Battlefield formula, what's made it successful, right? And we don't want to disappoint the fans we have.
Anvil 3-1, that rocket battery is your primary target. Cash is on station. Roger, Anvil Actual, standing by for gun run.
There's a lot of physics elements to this game. Physicality has been a vital part of the whole design idea for Battlefield 3. And it's also a key part of the Frostbite 2 engine. So the answer there is yes, there's a lot of things like that. I think the biggest thing that you'll get is the whole package though. The feeling of you being there like never before. I mean, if you play Bad Company, if you play any of our competitors' products that are out in the market right now, they look real to some point, but then the illusion gets broken. When you see there's an animation that twitches, or they turn and they look stupid, or when they die they look weird. We've tried to remove that completely and blur the boundaries of what's real and what's a computer game, and that's been the whole intent of this. And that's what, to me, the coolest thing about Battle 3 is that it almost feels real. I hope you are impressed with the game, and it ships October 25th on PC, 360 and PS3. I hope you'll buy it.